Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena we're playing a Grixis control pile. This pile actually won the standard challenge over the weekend. Standard challenges on Magic Online, the boomer software platform of choice. And there haven't been a ton of new things in the standard challenge over the last few weeks, so I hadn't even been looking at it for a little while, but then, you know, I pop in sometimes, need inspiration for a deck. Been gone most of last week, haven't been on the arena much, haven't found a lot of new stuff to play, and this is the winning deck list, which is kind of surprising. It's close to Izzet Control, and the main deck only splashes black for Check for Traps and Soul Shatter. Worth noting that all the standard challenge matches tournaments are played in best of 3. That's what the sweaty old school spreadsheet loving boomers enjoy. So then when you go into the sideboard, it's actually much more. There are many more black cards in the sideboard. There's a lot of Ray of Enfeeblement. There's another Check for Traps. There's Soul Shatters. There's Siphon Insights, 3 of them. That's pretty epic, and 2 Meathook Massacres. So if you actually go out and play best of 3, first of all, wildcard warning: if you hit craft all without looking very hard, make sure you guys note that there is a sideboard for this deck, and I'm leaving it there for those of you who enjoy best of 3. So heads up on that. But we're going to be playing best of 1 today because I like to test decks from those events and see if they actually cut it for best of 1 in a very different kind of environment. Now you might say, well, best of 3 doesn't have to worry about Boros aggro. Not entirely true. The Boros burn deck is more and more showing up in these events, and there were at least 2 copies. I could pull it up to be absolutely sure, but there might have been 3, but there were at least 2 copies in the top 8 of this event. So that made me wonder if this deck could hold its own a little more than normal. Usually I look at these kind of piles with 1 sweeper and I say, well, you're not going to take control of best of 1 with only 1 sweeper and 3 Reckoner Bankbusters. Reckoner Bankbuster, Expressive Iteration, and Check for Traps are all very good Magic cards, and I'm not going to deny that. But they're also very slow when your opponent is stomping you on curve. And I'm a little nervous that they're going to get the job done. Something that I love about the deck is Wandering Mind. There are 4 copies of this little 2/1 horror. Haven't seen it in a minute when it enters the battlefield. Check the top 6, reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put into your hand. This is a card from Crimson Vow that I remember being excited about at the time, and it turned out there's just too many good cards in Izzet. But I do think the card is poised for a breakout after rotation. Of course, we don't know what Dominaria United, the fall set, is going to be. But with a lot of good Izzet cards leaving the format and Hullbreaker Horror staying, I think that Wandering Mind is going to be a good bridge card to try to help you find your best pieces. It also combines excellently with Fable the Mirror Breaker because it gives you a not cheap, but a low-cost creature that making copies of gives you a lot of value. So copying this with the Reflection of Kiki Jiki, nice. We don't have very many artifacts for Voltage Surge. I'm a little worried about that. We can make treasure with Prismari Command and our Fable Critter token, and we have 3 Bankbusters that we could pitch, and eventually they make a treasure that we could pitch. But I kind of wonder if Voltage Surge is going to be at its very best in this particular deck. 2 Soul Shatters are obviously a little bit of tech against Hinata and Goldspan Dragon, which I don't know if we're going to run into those on ladder. My guess about the deck would be that we will have some tough matchups with very aggressive decks, and that will be almost impossible to win against such a deck on the draw without an amazing draw of our own. But I look forward to trying out the mid-range and control matchups against Hinata and Goldspan Dragon decks, against Esper Planeswalker type piles, Black-White Planeswalker type piles. I think we have a lot of tools that are going to drive them crazy, up to and including the negates and the disdainful strokes right there in the main deck to win those mid-range mirrors. Well, mirrors, mid-range pile fests, whatever you want to call that. So, looking forward to trying this one out. We're gonna dive in. Let the nonsense begin. Ooh, we're elite. We have elite number. Is today last day of season? I gotta check that. Actually didn't look. Anyway, elite. Wait, what's that text? You must play a game this season to achieve your to receive your season rewards. Oh no. Whatever will I do? I'm required to play a game this season. Good God. So this hand is slow. And if we draw an untapped land, it's good. So we get 2 shots at that. Also, if we're not up against aggro, we probably are okay. And our opponent has taste. They've got this frog thingy. They've got these Is It sleeves. They immediately hit me with the Yorgo. You know? Taste. Let's keep it. If they play turn 1 white creature, we die. Hey, love it. Untapped land? Nope, can't play this Bankbuster either. Gonna go ahead and drop the Jawari. Tap land, tap land, tap land. Here comes Fable. We were supposed to have our answer there. Didn't have it. Probably gonna lose. Yeah, don't have a good answer here. I guess we just drop ours and say, oops, went second. All right, what do we got over there? Tainted Indulgence and Mastery. So Grixis control versus Grixis control, maybe? They're asking if I want to trade. I don't. I need to find my own solution to this card. Okay. They didn't want another treasure. Didn't get access, so they're reanimation. Yeah, they're a reanimator deck. So we can definitely counter the reanimation jutsu that they're probably going to play. But we need... What do we need? We need an untapped land really badly. Unless we're just going to play this and do nothing. I would love to get the Bankbuster down and start drawing. So I think I'm going to give up on a Jawari. And I'm actually going to give up on an Expressive. I don't really want to have to play that. I'm going to try to hit some land. It's a little optimistic, but we're behind. So I think we have to try. Do we need another red? Can't hurt too much. Might just lose to the Fable since we haven't drawn anything to do about it and we let it resolve on turn 3 because we didn't have an untapped. So that's going to feel pretty bad if that's what happens. Now, are they going to try to reanimate? Yes, they are. They have 1 mana open. Now, they could have a Spell Pierce, but let's go ahead and make disappear on this before it runs out of usefulness. Another land is okay. We get to create our own juicy reflection here. Then I just think we say go. We want to draw some cards. We want to counter some stuff. Another command. Let's go ahead and negate. We'll fight a little. I think I'm actually going to trade with the real one if they attack with it. Ah, smarty pants. Okay. Still, it's not very fast if they're not attacking with both. We're just making a little mana. We're not doing anything with it. We get to draw cards. The animation spells are expensive. Another negate. What I do for a voltage surge, though. No land here. I guess we'll play another Fable. Just say go. We could, like, copy, make treasure is tempting, but too many things could go wrong. Oh no, it's Return Upon the Tide! It can still cast big creatures, so let's save the stroke for that. Can they counter the counter? Not yet. Hard to fit counter spells in your reanimator deck. You've got to have room for big things, reanimation spells, and discard spells. It's a lot. They don't have much mana. Ooh, I'll take it. I get a card for that. Can't hit land, but we're trying. Okay. Goodness gracious. Is it actually like this? Because we want to use Wandering Mind Reflection, and we'll hit lands this way? Maybe. Okay. Okay, deck, I see you. Actually, we're right up on Hullbreaker Horror mana, aren't we? Opponent keeps animating their shaman, not wanting to trade with my reflection. I think that was right once. I think it ran its course. All right, I want to hold up Stroke, so we're gonna play this. The opponent doesn't seem to have a good answer right now. Ooh, Traps. Traps is pretty good. Let's get him. No slug for you. All right. Are we actually going to paw our way through this? Maybe. We've got a chance for sure. We're head on cards and our counter spells did the job, taking out the more expensive stuff from our opponent. Now they're getting aggro. I think we just take. Or we could just trade. They're going to try to sweep, aren't they? If they sweep, do we care? Yeah, no blocks, actually. If they sweep, maybe we just copy Wandering Mind, get another card, or we Disdainful Stroke and set up with Reflection Wandering Mind. It's a very aggressive attack. When they could have just copied and attacked. Loosey goose, I would say. Huh? You know what? I think I just say go. Like, their attack didn't make much sense. I think they're waiting for me to tap out. I'm not doing it. Again. It's a land. No. And I take one. All right, might regret that. We'll see. Should be able to put this together now. Fable, Expressive, Jwari. Keep getting landlocked. I'm just going to take this Jwari and play it. Cycle. Cycle of Sadness. Here they come again. I still don't know why they're not copying here. I think I copy this and no. Copy the tapped one. Right? Oh, there's a Voltage Surge. Those are in my deck? Oh, nice. Alright, now we get our blocks on. Corpse Explosion? They top decked that? And it's going to deal 5 to my squad? They top decked that. Unreal. After last turn, I played around it. How did they know? Opponent is Elite Gamer. That's okay. Now it's Hullbreaker time. Didn't you know? I'm Mythic number 1337. I am elite. Goodbye. Yay, we avoided getting soloed by Fable. And we kind of stitched together awkward mid-range gameplays that I think some were a little loose and some were okay. And then Hullbreaker Horror did the job. I'll take it. We go first. Alright, and we have Jawari, so it's a keep. You guys missed, and I forgot to record a Boros beatdown on the draw where no spells were cast. I figure you guys can relive that experience all you want on the ladder in your own time. And now maybe we'll show you what it's like on the play. Because the opponent's acting like they have play with fire type cards. I mean, do we drop a Fable? They might use their turn to play with fire the creature, but if they do that, they don't get to play their 3-mana card. I think we just get Fable down. Don't even know if we're going to play a check for traps in this matchup. It's kind of risky to lose a life and take something from their hand when they're just going to top deck another one anyway. Okay, so they let this live. We'll see if we can punish them. Do I have time for a tapped land? I don't feel like I do. Looks like I have to make time for it. Okay, deck, what are you doing? All counter spells, no removal spells. Might get clowned by the Sunrise Cavalier. And what I really wanted to, again, untap land to hang on to this treasure because Voltage Surge needs it. Okay. Nice job. Played around counter magic. And they get a +1/+1 counter. So now we have to find a Voltage Surge. Haven't seen one yet. Seen a lot of cards too. Found one. I don't really want to flip it back today, right? Because then Brutal Cathar works. Alright, we have enough to surge and counter something. So we can start to try to establish some kind of a foothold in this game. I think they're going to play with Fire the Reflection, though. So then we have to hope we can counter something else. Yep, there it is. Kami's Flare. Well, we can dodge a little damage with this play. And do we want to save it? All it was going to do was jump in front of one of these anyway, so I don't think so. And now we don't take damage because our opponent doesn't control a modified creature. We go to 10. They flipped it back today. We could flip it back to night, just attack and say go, or just hold this back and say go and hope they go for a Brutal Cathar and we counter it with like Make Disappear or something. I guess we may as well play the Wandering Mind then. If we're going to counter it anyway, then we don't care if it's day or night. Take a Fable. Say go. Fighting off these little 1/1s. Hello. Right into my clutches. All right, second Fable. More treasure. So we have 6 total mana. I think that means we can bank bust. The value train is rolling. Is it gonna overpower Boros? It's looking okay. Luminarch resolves. Royal Eruption the face? How about no? I think I just block this here. Can't take too much more damage. And I am just going to activate this for the cards. Soul Shatter looking good. We can let go of this. Still saving a stroke because there's still more rejoues potentially in the deck. All right. Now what? Let's Expressive. Another Fable seems good. You can save this for later. Treasure acquired. You want to block? No? Pass it on. 2 mana up. Disdainful Stroke or Reju if we see one. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That keeps him right in the game. Question might be face or the Goblin Shaman. There is a Kami Flare too, but right now the opponent doesn't have a modified creature, but they will if they pay for the adversary, so let's see if they notice the Kami Flare. I think it's got to be the Flare. Yeah, they got it. Okay. 7. Oh my goodness. Are we going to lose after all this? It's such a tough matchup already. Okay. 2 life. 10 life for the opponent. Disdainful Strokes that need targets. Think. Okay. Tawara. No counters here. A negate. I guess I should have kept a negate earlier. Can make a 1/1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am a body away from a victory. If I crew a Bankbuster and copy it, that doesn't do it. Yeah, that doesn't do it. Body away from victory. It's rough. Alright, let's cast this. Hullbreaker, Horror, Surge, burn down the house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still not enough with burn down the house. Alright, we'll go... I don't have time for the Horror, so we'll go hand, bottom, over here. We'll go like this. It does look like I'm going to be dead to a top-decked burn spell, guys. So it's time to ask yourself the very important question of, do they have it? Do they have it? It's a land. They attack anyway. Let's draw first. We've got this, but they don't know it. And now, a lot of ways to eat this Reese's. We'll just go with the onboard. Close game. Thought we were way ahead there, and they still almost killed us. Now, one thing some of you might ask about, if you do this, it makes an uncrewed vehicle. And I'm just going to show that really quick, because it's not going to affect the outcome. See what I mean? So it has to be crewed again. Same thing with the land. The land would come in as an unactivated land. So when calculating lethal, I get a lot of comments like you should have copied the vehicle or the land. It doesn't work that way. All right, coming off I was on the draw against mono white and had no removal. And we're going into on the play, but this time we have a make disappear. So far, it's just been the same story. Like if we're on the play and we have a 2-mana counter spell that hits, we're hard to beat. Otherwise, we just roll over immediately. On the draw with almost any hand is a complete rollover. So that's my take so far on the deck, for those of you wondering if you should play it as well. I'm going to go ahead and use this, actually. Not the most impressive counterspell ever, but keeps the pressure off. And those eye twitches, over time, you know, they're a lot to deal with. Go ahead and drop a Wandering Mind. Do we reveal a Disdainful Stroke to our opponent? I think it's the right card. So I guess we'll take it. Could have also taken a Jwari. Might make the opponent play off curve a bit. Opponent doesn't want to race. They're going to give me the basics check. Of course they are. I pass. Kinda. I think we'll wait till next turn to iterate when we can for sure have a Disdainful Stroke open. We have a lot of tapped lands. Okay, 2 straight Field of Ruins from the opponent. Pro gamer. Enjoying my full control experience. We could let the shields down to cast a Bank Buster and then save the iteration, but I don't think that's right. Much as I love my iterations in these matchups. Let's take the Bank Buster to hand. I think. Against black, it usually draws all 3 cards. Iteration to the bottom. All. Since you used those Field of Ruins. Aha. We'll see if you like that. Okay. They're gonna use Hive and just totally play around this. Sure. I think I'm good with taking damage for a bit. It's not like that progresses their board. So now I can play second Wandering Mind. Go get Fable, because it's the card, right? They're going to play around this Disdainful Stroke potentially forever. Is Fable the card? More like Negate is really good too. I'm sure that there are Planeswalker Blood in the Snow deck. We probably shouldn't turn those down. And now we just say go, and the opponent's like, well, now if I power up my Hive, I run it into 2 Wandering Minds. That's not a good deal for them. Sure. I don't mind. Opponent wants some mascots. Alright, now I have 7 mana, so if they power up Hive and attack, I can just drop a Hullbreaker Horror and take over the game. But it would be unprotected, and if they just pass, I didn't do anything. So I think the right play is the Wandering Mind. Get another creature on the field. None of these deal with Hive very well. I think I'll grab a Jwari, so I have a land drop for next turn for sure. Then we'll play this Bank Buster. And now if they spend their turn hitting me with Hive, I just draw with Bank Buster, and I'm getting a little ahead that way. And okay, it's facing Stroke, Negate, Jwari, and a card advantage source, not even knowing about Hullbreaker Horror. They just don't want to play. Opponent goes first. We can negate a Fable, but we can't do much else. I mean, I don't know. What does that say to you guys? On the draw so far, I haven't been able to win any games against anything that's aggressive anyway, which makes me think mulliganing is just a trap, so I should just keep a handful of value and hope that they're also a value deck. Okay. Ooh. Bank on bank action. Maybe I was supposed to hold up negate for the Fable. I just got jelly. Because obviously I needed... No, you know what? I need to take a risk there. Our opponent's on the play. If they see me hold up open mana, they probably just draw with Bankbuster and don't even play the Fable. So I'm just losing anyway. Yeah, we just have to take risk. A lot of risk. I hope it works out. Memory Deluge, huh? Yeah, we're probably not going to be able to outgrind them. Their hand is definitely better than ours so far. So I don't know how we're supposed to win. I guess we have to try to outgrind them. There's no other choice. Is their hand better than ours? No, they just went first. Well, let's see. If they kill this and attack, I'm in a lot of trouble. Alright, check out Prismari command. Kill the Bankbuster, kill this. Okay, just Dragonfire. Good. Good, good, good. Hullbreaker Horror. You're going to have to save this game. Do I get rid of anything here? Maybe these Wandering Mines are too slow? Maybe just one of them for sure is too slow? We definitely don't have time for both. So if I just draw with this, hold up negate, what am I negating? Not much. And I don't have an answer to a dragon, so I think I'm supposed to dig for a Disdainful Stroke here. Didn't get it, that's for sure. Didn't get it. This Prismari command is slow, and these lands are all tapped. This is a disaster. Don't go second, guys, is my #1 advice with playing this deck so far. Uh-huh. No fear of Disdainful Stroke, or they had a counter anyway. Surge. There's a Stroke. Kind of all comes at once, doesn't it? So I could throw away my Bankbuster to try to kill the Hinata, or I could try to counter the Opus. I guess I'm gonna try to fight the spells. Hope that they just run out of good stuff. I guess I can only resolve one or the other anyway. Oh, do I go for it now? I can sack my Bankbuster, target the Hinata. So remember that spells that target cost 1 more to cast, right? So I can't do like Prismari command this, and then also draw this. Once I cast this Voltage Surge, sacking my Bankbuster, killing Hinata, I'm only going to have 2 mana left. This would cost 4. It's not good. Also, if they have a March here, I'm just blown out, right? I guess I have to risk it. Oh, this feels terrible. Is this the kind of play that you make because you have to, but it almost for sure loses you the game? Feels like it. Yep, can't use it because target. Yep. I think that's enough from me. Don't go second, guys. It's so bad. It's the worst. I guess in hindsight, I'm just not going to try to deploy my bank busters and things like that and just try to negate things, but we would have just been ground out by their bank buster being ahead of us. Okay, I actually have a voltage surge in my opening hand. I'm on the draw again, which I think is 4 out of 6 maybe? So it's been a pretty bad run. Well, I mean, it's close to 50-50. I can't complain too much. Still, the surge, at least we have that in the opener, which we've been missing a lot of. Okay, mono black was good for us last time. We'll see how it goes this time. Okay, black white. Grindy blood money pile. Should be an okay matchup. What do we have to worry about the most? It's an interesting question. Probably just the planeswalkers. So our negates and disdainful strokes will be good. And make disappears. And maybe even Jwaris. Really wish I could counter that here. I have so many 2-mana counter spells in the deck that would hit it. 8 of them, but didn't have any here. And just held up mana, huh? If I tap out, there's a good chance, like even playing Fable, they'll play Vanishing Verse and then untap and play a Planeswalker, whereas if I hold up mana, they might be afraid to. Still, you can't bluff very much on ladder. People just do whatever anyway, so I guess we go for it. And yeah, Vanishing Verse, because priority sticked as soon as we played a colored permanent. Stuck. Sticked? Stuck. Ooh, Fateful Absence. It's like a gift. That's a big gift. Rite of Oblivion, sack their treasure. Okay. They must feel like they're so good at grinding they can play a card like Fateful Absence, but I mean those clues add up. Okay, so now that they lost their treasure, they can't play a Lolth next turn without getting Jwari'd. So let's play this Sego. So many Wandering Minds. That should be good to help us find counter spells, though. Like this negate. Oh, there's a case for taking Make Disappear there because it has an expiration date, but when you reveal Make Disappear, they play around it pretty easily. Meat Hook for 1, huh? Sure. I got a few more. That's a lot of respect for the 2-1 that already drew me a card. They must have a lot of removal in hand and not much to do with it. Bank Busty. Let's keep the Wandering Minds coming since they were so afraid of the last one. Stroke seems nice, but so does Check for Traps. I'm just going to take the Stroke, though. What you gonna do, mid-range pile? You can definitely feel how this deck was designed for a very special meta. One where there's a lot of this endless value stuff going on. Because we are just chilling. Alright. You won't play something for me to counter? I'm gonna get into your hand myself. Blood on the Snow, Farewell, Fateful Absence, Vanishing Verse. I think we let them keep their expensive cards, and then we try to interact with stuff like Vanishing Verse. That can take out our Hullbreaker Horror at no value gained. Now I'll play this Bankbuster, and if they spend their turn on Farewell or Rite of Oblivion, we can counter it. I don't have any Planeswalkers in sight yet, and the only creature they have to get back with this is an Eye Twitch. Do nothing. Okay, I'll draw. Gotta hit these lands to make this Hullbreaker Horror good. There we go. Attack you. Let's see. If they tap out for one of those big effects, then we can resolve a horror, so we just say go. Here it comes. Alright, so do we counter this? Or do we just slam Hullbreaker Horror and win from there? I think we both work. One gets a lot less value. And you know I like value. Also, just having an 8th mana and a Voltage Surge available will make a difference to save the horror, potentially. There's always a chance they play a Plains there and then kill our horror. Alright, keep those options open. Yes, please. I accept this deal. Alright. I slam the horror here, and they have another Fateful Absence and an Infernal Grasp. They can kill it, but I don't think they've got it. I don't think they got anything. Roar! Horror! Hull broken. I'm here! I always think Randy Orton because of the pose, you know? I hear voices in my head. Some of you get that. I'll bounce your hook. I don't mind. One less thing they can use with Rite of Oblivion. We draw. We crack. The clue. What did you think I was talking about? And swing. Okay, that game felt unfair. That felt like we were way ahead. I would guess that is like white and black mid-range is 100% the style of deck you want to play against. I would guess Esper falls into that too. One more match. One more match. Number 355. Ob Avatar. Think Rakdos Thoughts. I wonder what that matchup's like. On the draw. We'll keep it. We've got a Surge. So it's going to give us a shot. Surge. Fable. Red blue. They're playing on full control. I guess they take Magic really seriously, guys. Best of one full control gamer. I'm not even that crazy. Yeah, okay, dude. And of course it's Hinata. It's always more Hinata. So what do we do? Do we play into something like a Jwari? Do we have to take risks? Our hand isn't very good, which is kind of a problem. I guess if they tap out for Hinata next turn, we can double surge it. Yeah, we gotta take some risks. We could pose and posture. Somebody who plays around, plays on full control through the entire game would probably actually respect bluffs. But I'm just not about that life. You're tapped out. You really still have to do this? Of course they do. Born to do it, right? Are you sure you don't have any you sure you don't have any responses? Are you sure? Also, it's the one time we needed black mana and don't have it. Weird. Wonder why they felt they had to tap out for that Hinata. Maybe they have two, and now they're trying to hit their land drop. Yeah, I think from that position, if you had one Hinata, I guess they're really worried about counter spells. Yep, they get their Fable. We draw black, we get our Fable and a check for traps. Black! Our opponent has once again tapped out and is living in full control. Jwari and an iteration? Wow. They're trying to take over the game right here then. Goldspan does that. So if they miss a land here, they have an all-spell hand. They have an all-spell hand, and we don't have black mana. Nice. Alright, so Burn Down and Horror. I guess I need more interaction here. I don't have time for them. Stroke. Kind of cool. Again, attack. May I has treasure? Black mana acquired. Which magma opus do we take? Alright, so we got the Disdainful Stroke. They've got a Strangle. March is a big pain. But we don't have an answer to the dragon anyway. Disdainful Stroke can hit the Opus, but they can make disappear it unless we take that. If we leave the March, though, there's just no way to ever get rid of this dragon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess we have to hope to counter this Opus with the Stroke. And we need to take the March. So, I could play Wandering Mind here, and then hope that they go for Opus on our turn. But they probably won't, right? They're a full control mode gamer. Yeah, I can't take down shields here. I like that they use the Strangle. It may just make them feel like going for the Opus. Like, giving away information from full control can work against you, too. They're not going for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, we can't tap out. We can't play this here, or else they'll make disappear. A burn down the house would have come in handy. Maybe I shouldn't have discarded it. It's always hard against these decks because, you know, I guess the make disappear still has me in a bind, right? Here comes Double Dragon. You know, I don't want to sit through full control gaming anymore. I'm over it. I'm over it. Have fun with that, dude. And we are back for the post-game wraps. And what can we say about this Grixis pile that came in first place in the MTGO Standard Challenge over the weekend? We can say it's not a best of one deck. You can play it. I think it's going to hover right around 50-50, and that you'll probably get a good stretch of rank if you really, really go first a lot and always have a 2-mana counter that hits. That seems to be the necessity, like the deck seems to require that. It doesn't seem to work without it. So much so that it's, I think, often wrong to even play Bank Buster on turn 2. It's just wrong, because if your turn 2 counterspell doesn't hit, the deck falls behind so fast it just doesn't catch up. And games where you do are the exception rather than the rule. The deck is definitely weak to Boros. I wouldn't play it in a Boros heavy meta, and I wouldn't play it if you hate losing to Boros, because you're going to tilt pretty badly. I also had a lot of, like, the domination that you achieve with this deck over black and white mid-range, and I'm guessing that transfers to Esper, is very satisfying. If you enjoy that, good. Do that. If you ever get really sick of Esper and black-white and mono-black, I think this has to be one of the best things you can do to those decks specifically. So I will give this a full endorsement for those matchups. However, I think that you do have to mulligan away from any hand that's not going to land a turn 2 counter spell, or maybe a check for traps on the play to take a 2-drop out of the hand. I think that I think my favorite thing about the deck, honestly, was getting more time with Wandering Mind. It felt like this card was just completely grinding out mid-range players, and I loved it. It felt like because of this, you could always have a counter spell when you needed it in the mid-game, find those check for traps when you needed them. So that's what I loved about the deck. But it is really slow and really clunky against aggro. I also don't think I was very lucky in this video, or in my games today. 23 land, 27 after Jawari. I missed a lot of land drops. I also several times didn't have the right turn 2 play. So that might be something to say about the deck, that the counter spells are too narrow, and maybe it's just supposed to all be make disappear or something. Or maybe it's 4 make disappear, 1 negate, 1 stroke. But I definitely felt like the games I lost, I was coming up short and not making the right turn 2 play. So maybe there's something to do there. Maybe a few edits will go the distance. I also found Hullbreaker Horror only needed it, you know, barely needed it. Just kind of showed up at the last possible second to seal games, but not that necessary. Kind of interesting. Anyway, my take on the deck, if this 100% appeals to you and looks like the type of Magic you want to play it, but I would say it's a 50-50 deck, and definitely not a tiered deck in best of 1. I would say not even tier 3. So that's my hot take. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy exploring these MTGO best of 3 lists in best of 1, and it also gives you a better idea of what some things coming at you in the meta might look like. So hopefully it's useful. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.